members. My name is Astrid Shover, and I'm serving on your diversity committee this year, 2024, for NABOR. And I have the honor and the pleasure to be interviewing Jane Bond of the bond agency Diamond Key Service. So thank you so much for coming down today and being celebrated for Black History Month.
Oh, thank you. This is the first in Naples.
And more to come.
Absolutely.
Right?
I really do hope so, because I've been here 17 years now.
Oh, wow.
And I've seen the change. You know, I've seen the footprint change. I've seen Naples change. It's growing. It's becoming more sophisticated. It's still a very special place.
Yes.
In America, to be honest with you. We're second when it comes to cash deals as far as real estate is concerned. Palm Beach is first. A lot of things don't affect us as they affect the whole entire economy of the United States. And it's because of the type of clientele that we have that come to live here. They choose to live here, where They can live anywhere in the world, but they chose Naples.
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
Well, let me just start off and ask you, why is Black History Month important to you and why we should celebrate it?
Well, Black History Month is important, period. Not just to me, it should be important to everybody across the board. It's a part of our history, a part of our country, and of course a big part of me. One is because of my parents, how hard they worked to get me to where I am now. And two, because of the people that came before us, that we all stood on their shoulders to be here front and center now. Because if it was 30, 40, 50 years ago, it'd be a different ballgame. For you to even sit here and interview me at a NABOR and talk to me about Black History Month. So that's why it's so important to me. It's important to me because of the people that came before me, and first and foremost, my parents. So yeah, of course.
Well, thank you for being authentic with that answer.
Absolutely.
Transparency equals growth, right? And we need to be authentic in everything that we do so we can push the needle forward. So I've done my research. So yes. I want to ask you, what struggles have you had to overcome and the highlights of you being a broker here in Naples, Florida?
As far as struggles being a Black female, I can't really say I had any being here in Naples. Selling is a business. It's a career. It's what people do to make money. And when I came here, I wasn't sure what to do as far as work was concerned, because I was a new bride and I was just learning the lay of the land, of course. And I didn't grow up behind gates, so I didn't know anything about gated communities. I didn't play golf. I really didn't play tennis. I was a runner. I ran, and I lived in Manhattan, so my life consisted of getting up in the morning, going running, and starting my day to do whatever I needed to do to move forward in Manhattan. As far as Naples is concerned, I never thought about being Black selling real estate. I only thought about making it to the top where my colleagues were. Each and every time I passed by that board that was at the Broad Avenue office for Sotheby's. That is what drove me and gave me the drive to make it, seeing what they were doing. I always thought about, I was just so tall, and would people look at me strange? That's what came to my mind more so. But I never thought about being Black selling the real estate here, or selling real estate here. I guess because, you know, I've traveled around the world. Mm-hmm. I've owned my own business. I've never really worked for anyone. I was always confident enough to talk to people. I think the challenge for me was understanding the business and really learning the business in this market. And I feel very privileged that I had that opportunity, because it allowed me to grow, always being authentic, always being transparent. What you see is what you get.
Absolutely.
It's not something different all of a sudden. And you know, I feel for young agents, because this is a very mature market, and you have people that have run major companies, tycoons that have laid their hats here. And just think about it. I mean, I don't know what your age bracket is, but for me, I couldn't see myself having a 26-year-old or 27-year-old, and God bless their souls. I mean, they do well too. They're, you know, today the The young people are much smarter than they were 30 years ago, I believe.
They have more technology.
They have more technology. They have more access, that's what I would say. And maybe not as smart. Let me take that back. Let me digress there, because my parents were pretty smart people. I think they have more access than we do today. And they're quicker because of that access. For me here in Naples, it was more about understanding the clientele, understanding the service that they were accustomed to because of their financial status. Once I understood that and knew that I could step up to the plate, and then I had a background myself in marketing from coming from New York, I was able to mix the two and say, okay, as long as I did exactly what I said I was going to do, I stayed on top of the market, understood where this market was going, I could service those guys. I could service that clientele. I could show up, be prepared, look the part, and also speak about it intelligently because I did my work. And I think that's more important than anything here. And
I can resonate with that, because me coming from New York, born and raised, it's such a melting pot, and diversity is everywhere, where you're not sticking out like the elephant in the room, and you're not feeling the need to have to take up space, right, and to use your voice when you are able to get into those rooms.
Right.
So I wanted to talk about your book. I know we're over time, but we can kind of edit that out a little bit.
Let's pull back a little bit, Astrid, when you talk about the elephant in the room. It will always be an elephant in the room. It doesn't matter, you know, who you are, what you look like, how you come in the room. There will always be an elephant in the room that will have to be addressed.
Absolutely.
And I think as African Americans and being in this market, we get in our head too much. I can tell you that I only serviced 2 African Americans couples since I've been here. So I can't be in my head about being black servicing people when there's not many African Americans are here.
Or black people in general.
Black people in general, they're just not here. Not that they're non-existent, but they're not here. It's not enough of them here, whereas though I see them and I can even go after them, you know, as a clientele base. So scrap that and just go after the clientele. Because once you get in your head, that's going to stop you anyway. You know, you have to know who you are and be confident enough in your ability and your skill set, and possibly shift that mindset to work with the people you want to work with. Doesn't matter what color they are.
Absolutely. You know, I totally agree with that.
You just have to do the work and get out of your own way. And that's it.
Thank you for sharing that, Jane.
You know.